Why it's important to always work with an experienced real estate agent when purchasing a home in Florida. Well, first and foremost, there's a lot of differences in Florida than other areas. Now, there's wonderful agents everywhere, and there's many of them here in Sarasota. I'd love the opportunity to work with you and answer any of your questions, but this video is really more to educate you on the differences in agents and what you need to know when purchasing. For instance, make sure your agent understands the differences in HOAs, deed restrictions, how to find the financials, how to talk to the property management companies, how to find all the rules and restrictions. So many times we see homes be put on the market and agents will ask, for a copy of everything, or some don't ask at all. When you tell them, okay, I have to make sure that we have the HOA documents, they don't even look at them, or they don't know how to get them. Many times we'll list homes and there is no copies of the HOA documents attached to the listing. So as an agent, whether it's a buyer or seller, I always make sure that I have those. And if they're not online, we can reach out to the management companies to get them. And your agent should know that. Another thing that your agent should be able to explain to you is taxes in Florida. For instance, if you're buying an $800,000 home and it says that the taxes on the listing sheet were $3,200, I'm going to guarantee you that your taxes are not going to be $3,200. First and foremost, we need to do a little bit of searching in history. If that $800,000 home has been owned for 15 years and the owners had homesteaded it, there's no way that the tax value that you see on that listing sheet is going to be what you're paying. First of all, the taxes are reassessed. The value of the home is reassessed upon transfer of ownership. And typically taxes are about 1.2% of the assessed value. And the county normally assesses the value at about 90% of the purchase price. So again, if you're buying an $800,000 home, county assesses it at 90%, that's about $720,000, and if you times that by 1.2%, then you're looking at about $7,500 for your taxes, as opposed to what you may have seen as $3,200 on the listing sheet. Be sure your agent knows how to at least give you a ballpark figure of what the taxes may be. Also, make sure your agent understands the financials, because financials are becoming extremely important when you have an HOA in Florida. And with 67% of all neighborhoods having HOAs, you really want to know what the financial situation looks like. Are they fully funded, which means is there at least 10% of the operating budget in reserve? A lot of lenders are going to require that, and they're looking at that as they don't want some unforeseen expenses coming up. Specifically, if you are purchasing a condo, this is incredibly important. Currently in the state of Florida, we now have a mandated inspection on all condo buildings. It's called the milestone inspection. It's now required in the state, and all condo buildings have 2 years to complete this milestone inspection. And this is to make sure that the buildings are safe, secure, and that we do not see another Surfside. In those inspections, however, not only are they looking at the integrity of the building, they're looking at the financial situation that these HOAs and condo boards are in. So there is a lot that is going into condos. Speaking of HOAs, as I said, and financials, all fees have risen greatly. They've risen because of Hurricane Ian. They've risen because of insurance fraud. They've risen simply because of cost to just mow has increased so much. So if you see a neighborhood that has low HOAs, or a brand new neighborhood that's advertising HOA fees are $175 a month, and yet they're full of amenities, I'm going to guarantee you that it's not going to stay that way. So again, you really want to work with an agent that understands all this. Another reason to always choose a very experienced agent is we work with new construction builders all the time. If you don't have a seasoned agent that understands, can you negotiate? What is typical? How do you formulate the contract? What's the earnest money look like? How do you go through this process of designing the home? All of these things are something that as seasoned agents. We understand, we know, and we can guide you through. So new construction is very, very big in our area, so be sure to work with someone that knows that. And if you're looking for waterfront properties, again, if you have a boat, we need to know the depth of the canal or what the marinas are like in certain neighborhoods, because this is a huge boating community. So there is something to know about that. There's so much to know on our houses. Florida homes are concrete block in Sarasota and Manatee counties. Now inland or closer to Orlando or the villages, that may be completely different. How long do our roofs last here? And how about insurance costs? The cost of just to replace things in a home. Many times we walk through homes and it may have old windows or it has old doors or an old water heater. And as an experienced agent, we can just kind of give you ideas and ballpark figures of what it's going to cost to replace that. Some are very minimal, such as a water heater, as opposed to perhaps an hurricane impact sliding door, which is thousands and thousands of dollars. Also, pool cages, pools, outdoor kitchens, all of those things are important to understand and know. So as you can see here, there is lots of details that go into purchasing a home, no matter where you're purchasing the home. But in Florida, I have definitely found that it seems like there's more and more. Maybe that's just because it was new to me when I moved here 6 years ago, but I've had the pleasure of working in Kansas, where I spent most of my life and raised my family. And then I had the pleasure of being a team leader in Virginia and got to know the real estate there, the real estate market, what is expected, what the difference is, what the costs are. And here in Florida for the past 6 years. And I can tell you, Florida by far is much, much different than any other state I've been in. And the costs are greater here in Florida. Our closing costs, our property taxes, transfer taxes, and the cost of doing business is just very, very different here. Not to mention, we have a lot more deed restrictions. Again, make sure someone understands and explains all those things to you. If you'd like us to answer any questions about real estate, whether you're buying on the East Coast, West Coast, the Panhandle, just have questions about real estate in general in Florida, please continue to follow, reach out, let me know how I can help. And for all your Sarasota and Manatee County real estate needs, give me a call. My team and I are here to help. We are the neighborhood experts. We want to make sure that your home buying and selling process are smooth as possible. I really appreciate you watching. Keep watching, following, subscribing, and liking, and leave comments below. What real estate questions would you like to have answered? Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.